Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Right, now, today I'm actually going to start doing stuff. Since last time I was kind of rubbish, and I'm actually today going to show you how I make a solar system. Right, so to start out, you always start with the solar system. So yeah. Now what I do, I go to home, right? You click on new. Now, what you do from here, since you have this add thingy, you look along here and you find this thing here and just hover over it and it should say start. So you click that right there. Yes, it's right here. And normally I just use the sun, and yeah, it is, well, it's okay. Now what I do from here is, from here you have to go to view if you want to see the habitable zone. So you go to view, right? Now this is only for Universe Sandbox squared or 2, whatever you want to call it. Then you should see all this stuff right here. Now the stuff around here you don't want to worry about, but this thing here you do need to look at. So if you go here and you get all of these options. Now the flat is just, well, for some where the green thing here is the actual habitable zone. Now that's the thing you need to be looking at if you want to make a habitable planet that is literally around here. Okay? Now in my last videos there were a couple of problems I need to tell you. The movement in my videos would never actually work, but now it just does. I don't know how, but I just did some settings. So really, what you want to do is, I always start with add. Look, see the little plus sign, you click that thing, and the one here on the left from where you were before, you click random rocky planet, and what you do from here is put it about where, if you see like this, that little weird lumpy thing, and then you get onto the lumpy thing. So this around here is where you want it to be, so put it there. So you may think, oh, it's going to be so rocky and it's going to be so horrible, but sometimes, and I mean sometimes, you can just get a little water world. Now this isn't exactly what you actually want, but look at the temperature. It should be average 5 to 20 degrees Celsius, which is what you want. If it is any higher than 21 degrees Celsius, then you're not going to be any good. And if it's under 5 degrees Celsius or below 0, it's going to be too cold. So what you can actually do is increase its atmospheric mass, which you should see the thing that I'm hovering over now. It's this thing right here, okay? Now, you get this little thing. If you're so confused with this, really, just add, so do like 1E, 6 plus the power of, I don't know, 19, and you press enter. Oh wait, no. Well, maybe an easy way to do it is just add a lot of 100 stuff, because you need it, because on Earth it's quite heavy. So do something. So 1E. So what I was meant to do was do 1E plus the power of something like 15, or you know, it's got to be something like that. Oh, so now there's another thing that I need to warn you about doing this. Is if it's just rock literally everywhere, and normally that's what I get, you have to go to materials, you increase the, so normally, you know, you just have a frozen ice sort of thingy, and that is not what you want. What you do want to actually do is just hold down your mouse button with this water button where it has the plus, keep going, and do about, well, maybe not that much, but at least around, say, that. That's sort of what you might want. It's up to you whether you want it. Now, there's something that you really want to do this. Now, you need to click edit, and what you actually do, you have to get this, the pole, well, get the pole wherever you want it to be, because you might have a big lake there, and I think it's best if I just do my pole there. Now, it's going to be different for you, so just fiddle with it, see what you get, and just think about it. Think whether you really want it to have that, or you can think about just doing this and then think about the South Pole or the North Pole to have the most water, which is another thing that I should have mentioned, but hey. Now, I think it's best if I leave mine maybe a little bit around like that. Now, if you see any of these confusing things, don't worry about them, and if you know this little like circular thing around it, this little border thing, you need to, when you're rotating it, get it sort of on the planet, if you get what I mean, or somewhere that's on the planet, and then just rotate it like that, which is another thing that I should have mentioned. Now, some things that people do when they are adding their moons is, right, they go to add, right, you go to add, and you go to the moons, right, to get a moon, this little crescent moon, whatever you call it, and some people just get a big moon and they just whack it here. Now, if you see this little black thing there, which I can't really do and show you, you don't really want that, but place it a decently amount away. Now, if you still see the black thing there, if it's even out here, you want to just place it somewhere that's a little bit far, and sometimes I don't normally do this, I just make it go quite far away from the planet, but this is another thing that I can do, is you go to, you see this little temperature thing, well no actually, and sometimes you might want to just bump up the albedo if you want, but yeah. Now you need to look for the rotational period, and that's the same with your planet. You need to look at the rotational period. Do it at a decent 1 to 5 days. So I'm gonna do 2.36 days, because it's got to be fast, otherwise it's not really that realistic. But if you have, like, what I would like to do with my stuff is just, if I go like and make a really close in planet, then what I really do is just kind of get the rotational period to be a little bit long, because you know that's what happens in our solar system, but that's optional for you. And you need to look at the orbital period, which is like all the way at the bottom. So orbital period is 19.8 days. Now that's close to Earth's, so you always want to make it at least about 18 to 50 days for orbit, because if you make it like a bit too short, then you will see that black thing. Now I'm just gonna bump it up to 25. Whoa! Ah! This is another problem that you need to keep in mind with. Sometimes it's better if you just don't change it. So, because sometimes this just happens because the simulation can't figure out what it's meant to be doing. So yeah. Now, look, sometimes this can increase. So, what you do with the temperature, you don't have to change it. You have to make it a reasonable amount, like about of temperature really. Now that's reasonable because 21 degrees to whatever it is. So I would just kind of, if you had it a little bit too high. Now, remember when I said about the atmospheric mass, you can change it, but only like this. You then change it to a lower sort of thing, so plus 12. So that should start to decrease, unless I just manually do it. But then it does start to warm back up. Whoa. Oops. Sorry. Oops. Okay, so basically, you have to just do at least 1 day for rotational period, because that's Earth-like, innit? About 23.6 hours, something like that it is. So yeah, just do 1 day for the rotational period. So yeah, you do that basically. Sorry for the disturbing background. Sorry. Right, sorry. So yeah, this is kind of how I make my like habitable planets. But this is not just how I make it. Now, you can change the name. So, I would probably go for something like, let's say, something like, maybe, I don't know, Trilon 223 dash, I don't know, I6 or something like that. You can just figure with the stuff like that. So yeah, just do that. So now you've done that, you actually go to the sun, and then you put in for the name something like this, like, you know, do the same, like Kirkano 998 245 rather. So like that, and you know, that's how I make it. Now sometimes this is a thing that you need to do. So if you wanted an asteroid belt, go here, and this is the most reasonable thing you should do with it. So look at it in a radius. Now I always use this one, or I use this one, which I figured out was very horrible, but you know, I at least tried it. Now you do 500. So this actually means radii, which the outer radius should be something like 600, like that, and then do create, which is absolutely fine because I figured it out, and it's pretty good actually, because it's actually closing off the thingy. Now there's another one, there's I think another one that I figured out, which was, I think, I'm not too sure on this, but something like 40 and something like 50. So I click create, and that's where I found out that it closes off the hot area. So it's best if you just do this, because then you know where all your stuff is. So like, yeah. Now another thing is when I do this one, I do the, like, I'll do 4,000 enter, and then, you know, you just do, I don't know, 4,500 like this, and click create, and you get a pretty far out asteroid belt, which is like the Kuiper belt. Now there's another thing that you can do. You can change the number of particles. And now what I wanted to do was sometimes I don't do this all the time. I might have 4, but this is quite rare for me. So I might just do like 6,000 like this, and then 7,000 like that. Then click create, and that's okay. But the thing is, if you've got a slow computer, then I really recommend you don't do this. Now it's best if you don't have that inner orbit thingy there. Whoa, whoops, because it will just kill your FPS. So just don't do this one, and just do that one. That one, and I'll put in how far away they are in the description. But yeah, so now you just do something like this. So you know, you might just click add. So what I like to do is add my gas giants close and far. Mostly I would probably do them far away. Don't ask me why. Now how do I do these really weird crazy orbits that go like there, and they're like super weird and crazy and stuff? Now you have to hold down the mouse button and you just do this, but it's pretty crazy, so just do a little bit of it. Do like that. Now a thing about the gas giants that I like to do is I like to add in rings for them. Now, you know, it's pretty good and all. So yeah, so you go to materials and you can increase the hydrogen, and I don't really want it to have any water at all, just plain hydrogen, 100% hydrogen. Yeah, and go to basic, right? The more actual hydrogen that you like give to it, then the higher its radius will be. So yeah, now what you do is you actually click add and you find these rings, and you find ring 2 for radii, and normally I just decrease it to something little. Then what I really would do is do like 4 and then 8. Now they don't need to be too far out, because you know it's not like a stupid star or something. Now there's a problem with having these rings. If you put them like in the rings or around here, then it's gonna wreck it. And if you put it around the sort of area that you don't want to put it is around in where I'm doing it now. So I'm going to quickly put one in orbit. Well, not actually put it there, but you get what I mean. So around here is not where you want to put it. You want to put it around about here. So really, you click random moon or get one of the preset ones, and I would do this. And then sometimes you just hold your mouse and make it go up or go down. I don't care really, but yeah. And another thing that you can do is look at the things, and you can actually make them be so volcanic and actually make them have a lot, and I mean a lot, of albedo. So there's this thing, albedo, wherever the hell that thing is. It's hard to find it. Don't blame me. Wait. So if you find the albedo wherever the hell it is. Oh, here it is. So if you increase the albedo, then the more sunlight it'll get, which I think is best, because the further your planet is, it's better if you just get a lot of albedo. Now what happens is it decreases quite a lot, but that isn't really a problem for the further away ones. So this one obviously doesn't have much albedo. So if we decrease it a lot, you can actually start by making this actually be a very, like, I don't know how to explain, but a very nice sort of thing. Make it be warm if you want, but it's not what I do. But yeah, this is kind of what you can do, and the less albedo that you give it, then the less sunlight it will get. Now this is the last and final thing that I am going to actually show you now, is making comets. Now I don't ever do this in my videos. I've tried it once before, but you know, it never actually was on there. So what I do is actually not make it too far away and get one of the preset minor ones. I don't know why. But before you do it, you need to actually select your star. And this is the thing that you needed to do anyway. So you could actually get it to be, well, let me just do it. So click add and go to, well, do curricula or something. And to actually make it go so eccentric and, well, not eccentric, but make it so much like one of the stupid comet things, is just, look, it's minus 144 degrees Celsius. So what you actually have to do is change its eccentricity. So you have to go down a little bit, and where it says semi-major axis, but under it should say eccentricity. Okay, so if we change this quite a bit, you need to zoom out a little bit to see what it's going to actually be like. So it'll actually show you a little pre little thingy. So it show you a pre thing of what it will do. So if we make it a lot eccentric, so if we just speed up time, there sometimes can be problems, but don't worry about it. You should really do the comets first. So just do this, basically. And it's gonna get a lot of lag. But yeah, this is sort of how I make my solar systems in Universe Sandbox 2. But yeah, I'll see you like soon, some point on YouTube.